Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm glad to get up and ask my colleague from Calgary Shepherd a question, because there's always something to do. And so I'm going to ask him a question. The government of the day has subsidized media outlets across this country to the tune of over $600 million because these media outlets that are regulated, highly regulated by organizations like the CRTC, who are forced to follow these rules, cannot generate the advertising revenue or the interest that they need because the government is telling them and dictating to them what they can and cannot do. So does my colleague actually see Bill C-11 doing the same thing to digital content creators on the internet?
The honourable member for Calgary Shepherd.
So that media bailout fund, I think is what the member's referring to, is a $595 million fund. I remember it distinctly because I was on the finance committee at the time, and I held it up for about 3 to 4 hours asking basic questions. And the government official there from Finance Canada, when I asked them, well, whom shall it cover? Like, how would you actually obtain the funding? And it sounded to me, and I asked the question, it sounds like it's $595 million to cover politicians. Is that correct? And after about 15 minutes, the official said, yes, that's basically it. Unless you're covering current events. And I started reading off different publications, would they be eligible? And none of them were. Basically, if you were going to cover the government, if you're going to cover what the government is doing in current events, obviously in flattering coverage, because you never bite the hand that feeds you, then you would obtain the money. And that's been one of the greatest problems with this. Again, and this is the same, it's old thinking about 40, 50 years ago to take the Broadcasting Act and then impose it on online streaming services, on YouTube, on online platforms. It just doesn't fit, and the government should abandon this.